Being a boxing referee is an awesome responsibility. To be judged as one of the best in the business, you have to have great judgment. Stop a fight too soon, you're criticized for being too quick. Stop a fight too late, and it could lead to serious injuries for one of the participants. Rarely has any referee done it better or longer than our next inductee. He was born on September 12, 1952, in Havana, Cuba. He arrived in Miami along in 1967, followed by his two parents 2 years later. He fell in love with boxing as a boy and launched his career as an amateur referee and judge with the AAU, working bouts in Coconut Grove and other South Florida venues. He picked up experience working Golden Gloves tournaments as well. In 1984, he worked with the USA ABA as a judge and referee. In 1987, while still volunteering his time as an amateur ref and judge, he made his first move to the professional ranks. He worked as an inspector for the Florida State Boxing Commission. In 1989, he became a pro boxing referee with the Florida State Boxing Commission, making his debut coinciding with the pro debut of boxer Lamar Murphy. He has participated in 33 world title fights as a referee and over 20 world title fights as a supervisor. He's refereed for all the major organizations and has been a member of the IBO from its inception to present. He also refereed in excess of 45 title fights for regional and national titles. His travels have taken him to Colombia, South Africa, Hungary, Poland, England, as well as here in Florida. He's been in the ring with great fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Felix Trinidad, James Toney, and many, many more. He continues to provide his expert skills as a third man in the ring here in Florida and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame class of 2017, referee Jorge Alonso.
In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. And in the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When the solid ground is falling out from underneath.
I promise you, Bill, I'll be quick, okay? Well, first of all, I want to thank the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, Butch Cathy, for the honor that is being bestowed upon my person today. This trip started many years ago, precisely at the Elizabeth Virrick Gym. Where is Mr. Lee's family there? I used to go to the Elizabeth Virrick Gym as an spectator every Wednesday night. Every single Wednesday night I was there. And one day I'm walking in and Dick Lee was talking to Sid Aston. And apparently they were talking about needing officials. So Dick turned around and says, well, why don't you take this young man, he's here every weekend. I mean, every Wednesday night he's here. Sid, make him an official. And that is how I became a boxing official, by just being there. And thank you to Mr. Dick Lee. So, thank you. And the rest is history. Little did I know then that I was going to be here 40-some years after that. But there's a few people I have to thank because it'd be remiss of me not to say thank you. First of all, I want to thank my family, my wife, my daughter Jeannie, my son George, my daughter-in-law Desiree, my grandson Giovanni, and the two that are little that are not here, Bryson and Mason. Without them and their support, I couldn't be here. Many Friday nights, many Saturday nights, many weekends traveling all over the world, and my family doesn't have me to go out to the movies on a Friday night or to a little league ball game on a Saturday morning. So thank you, and especially my wife, which every show I worked, no matter what time I got home, she was waiting for me with a hot meal. Okay? And the next gentleman I want to thank is a person that probably every person in Florida who is involved in boxing either knew him, was his protege, or learned from him, and that is the late Don Hazelton. Yes, yes. When I became an inspector with the Florida Boxing Commission, he was the executive director, and he knew that I was doing amateur work on the side. So a couple of years after I was an inspector, he comes to me and says, he calls me, as a matter of fact, says, do you have a blue shirt and a black bow tie? And of course I did, because I have been anticipating that moment. And I said, yes, I do. He says, well, make sure you have it with you Saturday when you go to Homestead, because you are going to be a professional referee starting Saturday. And my first fight in the ring was the Lamar Murphy pro debut, and the first cornerman that I had to deal with as a rookie referee was Pat Burns, so you can imagine that. Okay? You all know Pat Burns. All right? So that was my introduction to the world of paid officiating. And there's a couple of people that I want to thank that I worked with throughout the years, which I consider, and believe me when I'm telling you this, and I tell you this not because I'm here, not because they're here, because it is the truth. I have been fortunate to travel the world with the IBO either as an official or as a fight supervisor, and the officials in Florida are second to none. Nowhere in this planet. Nowhere. I will take a group of Florida officials anywhere, whether it be judges, referees, inspectors, and match them up against anybody, anywhere, and I know they will come out ahead. So there's a few people that were instrumental that I learned from. Bill Connors is one of them. He was pretty much way ahead of me in the game of refereeing when I started. Thank you, Bill, for your examples and your advice throughout the years. Tommy Kimmons, my friend, always there for me when I needed some advice or whatever the case may be. And Frank Santor is the other one that I could go for advice. Judges, my God, so many of them. And I hate to start mentioning names because you always leave somebody out, and I don't want to upset anybody, but Mike, Bass, Walensky, you name it. They're all good friends of mine, and in one way or another, one day, they were always there for me. Roberto Quesada, the trainer, a man that has so much boxing knowledge that I pick up the phone and I call him with any questions that I may have, and he's always there for me. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And just, you know, one thing that was said is look, that Mr. Lee had an eye for talent. I believe it's our job, as we get older and longer in the tooth in the business, to find the next generation of boxers, to find the next generation of officials. And let's encourage that kid that is walking to watch a boxing show to become involved. Because if that hadn't been done to me when I was an unknown little guy walking into Elizabeth Vyrick, this opportunity and this honor would have never come to my person. Thank you very much.